if we don't have the statue up, we'll never remember who he is. I don't even know who the guy is because there's no statue.
Yeah, right. Jerry who?
Tim McVeigh. I don't know who that is. There's no statue.
I know. We need to build a statue. So I know, man.
Where's the Adolf Hitler statues? I don't even know who that is.
Who?
I have no idea that.
Who?
Charles Manson? I don't know who that is. If there's not a statue, I'm not going to remember who these people are. That's my theory. It's a good theory too.
It's a great theory.
Because when they take the statue down of the Confederate generals, the billions of words of text that have been written about the Civil War, they just disappear.
It disappears. It's amazing how that works.
Let me share this quickly to Facebook. Everything else should be rocking.
How was your concert, man?
Very good.
I don't think I've ever heard them.
They're fun. And I went to I went to go see the Bodines in Durham.
Bodines, man.
Yeah, maybe Wednesday. These are the first two shows I've ever been to where you had to show Vax card.
I'd be like, right here, baby, right here.
Now the one when I went to Durham, it was okay. I showed it on my phone. It was fine. They were like, cool.
Well, you took a picture of it?
Yeah. I've got it stored in like 2 different clouds, so you can easily you just access it or whatever.
That's a good idea. I never thought about doing that.
Oh yeah, do that. If you got Google or Amazon or whatever cloud you got, because I know you're on like 50 clouds like everybody else is. You got your shit stored somewhere. Yeah, definitely put it on there. And now when I went to Charlotte, they had to have a printed copy of it. You had to show the printed one.
So you did take it, I'm assuming.
Had to take it, and then it made it back. And then the person I was with had to fold theirs, and they were upset about having to fold it. But I didn't have to fold mine.
I have to say that would kind of make me a little bit upset too. Being the OCD person that I am, that would really kind of bother me a little bit.
Piss me off. But then they go. We also, we took masks too to Charlotte. Mm-hmm. Less than 10% of people had masks on of any sort, and we were in our seats. We didn't have the masks on, but when we were out going to the bathroom and wandering around, whatever, we had the masks on.
Yeah.
And
I noticed that at the Braves game last night that hardly anybody in the crowd wore a mask.
Oh, by the way, that the Braves run to the World Series is the revenge on Major League Baseball for taking away the All-Star game. You've heard this, right?
No, yes.
I didn't know if you heard that on the Brad and Britt cast, but I think we talked about it. Fucking stupid ass Clay Travis, the guy he's half of Rush Limbaugh now.
He was at one of the WWE shows. They were like spotlight. You know how they go to the people during the coming back from a commercial or something. They'll go.
I'm
to
sure Vince is talking.
Row.
Hey, can you come in and do some commentary? We'd love to have you here. If you could just shit on Obama, that'd be great. God damn it. He doesn't have to do that. They finally got him off of Fox Sports Radio. So they've actually got shit that doesn't crap on black people on Fox Sports Radio all day.
Okay, well, that's a start.
It's kind of nice. They've got like an actual sports show. I'm trying to think who's on that morning show, and I can't remember. But anyway, then it's Dan Patrick, then it's Colin Cowherd, and they got Doug Gottlieb, and then it's Chris Broussard with Rob Parker. So it's like a really pretty good lineup. I mean, there's good stuff to listen to. But they finally got rid of Clay Travis and let him do his anti-woke America bullshit with Buck Finster, whoever the fuck that guy is. He's doing the show with for the youth. I tuned into for the first day of the Clay Travis and Buck Finster show, whatever it was, and I
loved him on Hee Haw.
He was so good, right? Buck Sexton. I believe the gentleman's name is Buck Sexton. Very important I get that right because I care.
Yes, please.
They played the Rush Limbaugh music on the first day. They played My City Was Gone. You're like, why would you?
That song is so ruined.
Why would you do that? She dedicated. She licensed it for Rush Limbaugh to use, but she would donate the proceeds to like some animal groups or something he would hate. She did that for years. Chrissy Hine did.
That's awesome. Good for her.
As we're off to a rocking start here on Katie Vick is Alive. But no, they didn't have any masks on. And we were by far the oldest people there. It was a fun game. Like, let's spot people as old as me. I think I got 2, but then after a while it became like, let's spot people in their 30s. And we were just looking around trying to find
high 20s. We'll go for high 20s here.
Nobody wears their mask. I just show the Vax card twice. I'm happy to show it. I'll show it whenever. There was something else I'm going to go to, I think, that I have to show the Vax card for. And like I said, Plus, I'm getting ready for that third shot. When are you gonna get that booster, pal? You already
I don't know. I guess I'm available now. I'm eligible now. I guess, right?
What'd you do? What'd you get? Pfizer?
I got the funky cold Moderna.
Moderna, yeah. I think you're good to go. Although they're saying mix and match. Mix and match.
That's right. You can mix and match. I don't. Are you okay with that? Would you have a problem with that?
Personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But my first choice would be go ahead and grab the Pfizer. Since
right.
I'm already
right.
on
That's
that
me
road.
too. Me too.
If the pharmacy was like, "No, sorry, we just have Moderna," I'd be like, "Put it in me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get it on."
I'll do it. I'll be Moderna / Pfizer or whatever.
Hey, I guess we should talk about some wrestling on this wrestling show.
Oh yeah, how about that? Let's do that.
Hey, how about Becky Lynch and Charlotte get into a little tete-a-tete,
little scuff,
little issue with their segment on Friday Night SmackDown in which belts were thrown. We didn't know belts were going to be thrown. There was apparently a verbal confrontation backstage.
Charlotte went into business for herself out there. From what
a little bit. I don't know. I think she may have looked around for some fucks to give and not found any at this point. I think that may be the issue with Charlotte.
I think you're on to something here, my friend.
Her husband is gone. Her dad is no longer associated with the company. There's been some shit going down about her father, which is pretty much his own doing. But she may have looked around for some fucks to give and been fresh out and just hadn't had a chance to go to Costco and grab some more fucks by the score. So that was the situation. Allegedly, she went past when Charlotte went backstage, pronouns pal. She did not make eye contact with Mr. McMahon or acknowledge him in any way. And then there was a verbal confrontation with Becky. And then I think Alvarez, I think this is a shoot that she was escorted by security. Have you heard this?
Yeah, I heard this. She had to be asked to leave, escorted to leave. Yeah.
Interesting. That is interesting. I would have thought on the female side of things, she would be about as close to untouchable as anybody could be in that company.
At one point, I would agree with you, but
now you don't think so?
Not as much. Not as much.
I mean, not a whole lot would surprise me at this point. The way that they're getting rid of talent, fucking up, and just screwing things off in general. But I would have thought like that's the one person you want to hang on to for that division. And I don't know if this is a test of that or what. But yeah, she's not happy right now. There aren't a lot of people in that company that are happy right now.
I would be hard pressed to think there'll be anybody or many people. I'm not going to say everybody, but a handful of people that may be happy.
Randy's happy because he just stays happy. He doesn't care.
Well, it's that permagrin
who
he has.
Well, Brock, of course, is happy because he's only there like half the time, maybe.
You're pretty much getting a handful right there. They're pretty obvious who the happy ones probably are.
You need to follow us on Twitter at KDVic Alive because I just tuned into SmackDown on Friday night. I love that. That's another 1935 phrase. I just turned on SmackDown and I'm like, he's choking out Scrap Iron. He's choking out Scrap Iron. Adam Pearce and is like, he's being suspended. I was like, well, what's he being? So I texted Brian. I said, I just turned it on. What's he being suspended for? He goes, for beating the piss out of everybody. And I go, I'm old enough to remember when that was the point of wrestling. And he goes, yep, not anymore, Gramps. Was that really the storyline reason? Because he just beat too many people up?
Basically, yeah. I mean, he just came down and started hitting people and taking people out. Never mind that he was jumped to start things.
Yeah, it's always that's three
okay.
on. He starts every match at least.
I'm taking up for Brock Lesnar for God's sakes.
I know this is how bad things have gotten. Is that we actually have to defend Brock Lesnar on some way, shape, or form. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So this Becky versus Charlotte thing, you think that you actually think there's an opportunity for her to leave the company? You think that Charlotte would at some point leave the company?
Ever since the Bray Wyatt thing, I'm not really going to be surprised at anything that goes down with them from this point out. I mean, think about it. Who is really not expendable right now there?
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is not. He's the guy.
Maybe he might be the one person. And they went all this time without Lesnar until he showed up 3 or 4 weeks ago, whatever it was. So he's expendable, and that
Well, Lesnar was a direct reaction to all that stuff about CM Punk getting signed. I mean, that seems to be what that
exactly.
was.
There you go.
That seems to be the WWE was like getting their asses kicked by their overlords at Fox about how did you let this happen? How did now look at this company over here? They're kicking all this ass. They've got all the eyeballs. They've got all the attention right now. You need to fucking do something. And it was like, all right, what do you want, Brock? Or whatever it is, let me write the check.
Yeah. And again, Brock gets what he wants, just like any other time, pretty much. But seems like
that would be wild if Charlotte left. I can't even imagine. That would take the women's division at AEW up to unbelievable notches.
Oh my God, yes.
That would be they've done better. I've always thought it was really not that great. Obviously Britt Baker has been over for a while now. Various other people, Ruby Soho doing a great job there. They've got some good matches, but holy shit, when you talk about this is almost like a CM Punk level shot of adrenaline to the company all over again. I mean, the matches Charlotte Flair could have with Britt Baker, the ones that she could have with Ruby Soho, she could have these
Jade Cargill.
Holy crap, the match that she could get Jade Cargill over like a motherfucker. I mean, it would be
and they're like the same height and build and all that stuff, man.
That would be I would be very careful how they go at this point with that whole situation. If they think that fuck her, give her release, that could work out not well for them.
And you know something, man. I don't know what goes on backstage. I just go by what I see and read, and most of the time I go by what I see because I think sometimes I can figure things out. Sometimes it's hard to tell reality from a work, So something just didn't feel right about that whole Becky. It's like somebody forgot their, when somebody like forgets their line or something, you can kind of pick up on, even though you didn't know they forgot their line. You something wasn't right about that. That's the kind of feeling I got. And I didn't know anything until I read probably what you read. I think I read it from Wrestling Inc. or something, but about the whole thing. But don't you think that ever since Becky's been back, she's just been obnoxious? And I don't know if that's her character thing or whatever, but it seems like, I don't know. I can't get a good read on her.
This run of Becky Lynch and bringing her back early and stuff, which again was another reaction to the CM Punk situation. I think it's not been good. I think it's not been good at all.
From the get-go, from the whole Bianca Belair slapping the face, or not slapping the face, but whatever she did to her to pin her in 3 seconds. But yeah, I don't know. I just think maybe it seems like all right, I'll put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if Becky's obnoxiousness had something to do with Charlotte being the way she is right now, along with the other things you were talking about.
I think Becky's also like unhappy too. I mean, she can't be happy with the way things are going. She can't be happy with any of that stuff. She's probably happy with the money that she's receiving now, and she did make it to Saudi Arabia too. She was in Saudi Arabia too, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming she got paid. I don't know. I'm glad everybody got out this time. We didn't have to have the drama of is SmackDown going to happen, or are we going to have to fly in the NXT guys to make it happen? Or
you have to think about that every time they go out there, man. Everybody
made it back this time. Everybody's good. So yeah, I don't think Becky's that happy either. And then maybe she thought Charlotte was trying to fuck with her. I don't know. Original sources told TalkSport that Flair was meant to be trying to play cat and mouse with the title, and Lynch was meant to get her hand on it before she pulled it back. The timing error between the pair led to the title dropping to the floor, but for whatever reason, obviously the title wasn't meant to go to the ground. None of Lynch, DeVille, or Flair were happy with what unfolded. By the way, Sonya Deville kind of just caught in the middle. Just like, I don't know. I'll be here if anybody needs me.
Yeah, right. She's the supervisor. She's like, she's like the program director. That's what she is.
Oh,
she's a yes man. She just does what corporate tells her to do.
She's a shitty scumbag? Oh, no, I guess she's not.
No, well.
I was going to ask if she's a heel or a face. If she's a program director, she's a heel.
That's a straight uphill.
The only babyface program director in the history of humanity was a guy named Andy Travis. I think you remember him.
I do.
He was a babyface. None of Lynch, DeVille, or Flair were happy with what unfolded, but they moved things along, knowing Sasha Banks had to make her way to the ring. Sasha also left with a bag of shit and all of that.
Sasha's like, I'm just getting back to where people think I'm okay now. Everything's cool now, and here we go.
And guess what? You're about to be the queen of the division. Get ready.
Spotlight.
Last woman left here. As PW Insider has reported backstage, Lynch and Flair are said to have gotten into a heated row. Although the altercation didn't become physical, WWE officials were concerned. The Flair-Lynch friendship has been strained for some time. People close to the situation said Flair didn't appreciate being called plastic during a promo a couple of years ago, and it's been tense since. Isn't that funny that she would like something happened a couple of years ago where she was called plastic, and now she's like kept that just kind of filed away for a couple of years and been pissed off about it?
Look, that's fine. I mean, if it was it a promo that she did, that she said it, I guess.
And you know what this means? That means those titties are fake. That's what that was about. That's what you're upset about.
I had no idea.
That's what
I would have never known.
If anybody ever had any idea, if anybody ever thought it was not real, she got called plastic. She took it personally. She thought it was an insult against her titties. Right there. That just proves it.
Unreal. I mean, if that's really the case, then I think they're both a little just over the top here.
It is, but it's not. It's never. I mean, it's like, as you well are aware, in marriages and relationships, it's never about the thing. It's always like the 7 things that led up to the thing. It's not this thing. It's this thing that happened 6 months ago. This thing that happened 8 months ago. This thing that happened. It's always that thing, and that's what it is. Yes. The dreaded list. The itemized list. It just happens, man. It's just that things happen like that. And it's cool to. I mean, I can't say that I'm above that. I've certainly been like, hey, yeah, it's not about. I'm pissed off about this. But this gives me an opportunity to talk about this thing that happened back in August or whatever. Vincent McMahon. Vince McMahon was not happy that Charlotte left Gorilla without talking to him. She headed to Orlando to support. Acknowledge me. God damn it! You talk to me, you bitch. I'm gonna tell you something. I just spent a lot of money at fucking Crown. Yeah. I'm glad Eric Bischoff had that comment where he was asked during his podcast with 83 Weeks. They said, "Is AEW still are they really competition?" Hey, as Conrad asked him, "Is AEW really competition for WWE?" And Eric goes, "No, Vince is going to make more money this weekend in Saudi Arabia than they're going to make all year." So. Which makes me wonder if Uncle Eric is going to get his backstage passes at Dynamite from now on. He's been featured prominently. Not anymore. He's been featured prominently on Roads to the Top, and you just wonder if Uncle Eric's going to be a part of the show anymore, if he's going to keep saying stuff like that. Yeah, he's going to be like Uncle Eddie after that, man. Disband him. He wasn't happy. And Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer Radio has reported since that Flair was escorted from the building by security. Damn. It is believed no one involved was happy about it. Was over just a fucking exchange of belts. God damn it. There's security over here. Where are the cameras? No, you're really like being escorted by security. It's not like a segment. You're really like this. These are real security guys. These are not like NXT trainees or jobbers that we got from the local indie scene here. These are real security people from this building, and you're bye. I'll see you. Oh man. And then Andrade put something about like FU WWE on his Twitter. Yes, that was fun. Yes. Let's just pour some more gas on the fire. That's a great idea. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I have no idea. It looks like sometimes Vince is burning down his own empire right now. I know, man. But here's the thing too. It's like, even though something wasn't right about that, but that whole little scene with the belt exchange and everything, it looked fine. I liked the way they did. I liked the way she dropped the belt and stuff. I thought that worked. I mean, even though the whole thing just felt a little, I don't know. It was off. It was off. It was kind of, I don't know. It was just kind of awkward but off. Off is the best description. But I did like I said, I did like the way. I never thought that would have caused such a friction. I mean, I know, like you said, there's other stuff that led to it, but I didn't know it was such a big deal. What's the classic Vince McMahon thing is that there's no mistakes on live television. It just, when something happens, it happens. and it was meant to happen that way, and you just go with it. So just fucking go with it. But then now it's become, an international incident.
And then some almost.
It's the greatest.
God almighty. Well, have you seen that video that's going around now with Renee on that podcast?
No, I
haven't seen this. That was telling. I'll see if I can find it. Send it to you. That she was talking about the one time that she was doing. She said it was like she was on one of the panel things. They do like between matches at a pay-per-view or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Tyson Fury, she said, was on the show, whatever pay-per-view this was. And instead of calling him what was it? What champion is it? The
Undisputed or something?
It was something undisputed, or the internal champion, or something, something like that. Instead of calling him that, she called him the Gypsy King. And and she threw it to a package, like a video package. And she was like, "Here's the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury." She said, as soon as she said that, Vince came on the headset and just tore her a new one, because she fucking ruined it. She fucking ruined it by not calling him the.
You cannot. I can't put Gypsy King on a t-shirt. You bitch. You cannot.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, she just kind of confirmed things,
That's who. That's.
And she said she just wanted to get up and walk out right there.
It's kind of a millennial thing right now, and you're seeing it with people who are just not having it anymore. They just don't want to go to work for McDonald's until they get their shit right, or anybody. This is as in terms of labor in America, that we're at a very critical time, and there are a lot of people that are standing up going, "No, fuck this! I'm not going to be treated like shit."
Go out and eat somewhere. You'll see that.
Exactly. Well, and part of it is generational. There's some of these millennials are like, why do we have to take this? Why have you Generation X and you boomers just been taking this for years? And we were like, you got a point.
Yeah.
you may have something there.
All right, millennial.
So that's, and at some point it's like with Vince, it's like, I don't know why I want to work for you. I know it's like I get to be on TV and get paid a lot of money, but I just get treated like shit, and it's not fun, and you make me look bad. And in the future, I won't be able to make money because you make me look bad and treat me like shit. So I'm not really sure why I'm doing this. And so
I understand. Hey, well, I haven't told. I think I've told you this story before in the past, but I don't tell many people because it really brings back some horrible memories. But I'm going to tell it because it relates to this.
Okay.
When I did some fill-in work doing PA announcing for our local minor league baseball team several years ago, 10 years ago, filled in for a friend of mine who couldn't do it. And whenever he couldn't do it, I would fill in for him basically. So the guy that was like my supervisor was substantially younger than me. He seemed okay, but he was one of those guys that had a real quick temper, right? He's one of those guys that went out and did the little dances between innings with all the people on top of the dugouts and stuff, but he was like my supervisor. So I never really had any confrontations with him at all, in the least, ever. But we were doing a game, and he told me the name of this one particular assistant coach for our home team, and he says, "Okay, you have to say it this way." And I don't even remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was like a Spanish name, a Hispanic name. So he told me how to say it, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll say it like that." But then he kept going. He said, "Don't forget to say it like that. Don't forget to say it," for like the next 3 hours. Every time just drilling it in my head. And I'm like, okay. So it came time to do that. And god dang, if I didn't say it exactly like he told me not to say it.
Oh, Jesus.
But I said it, but then I corrected myself though. I didn't just say it. But as soon as I let go of the mic, he was sitting like right beside of me. And he went ballistic.
He cut a promo.
He cut the dude.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You're an idiot.
Somebody would have signed him after that, man. But I tell you what, it took all I had. It took all I had not to just get up and punch his ass out, because he just overreacted so much and called me every name in the book in front of all these people in the booth up there. So I guess my point is, I feel Renee, and if that would have happened to me, I would have just said, but I'm going to say the only reason I didn't get up and walk out or knock the fuck out of him, both or either, was because I didn't want to make my friend look bad, because he recommended me to do it. that was the only, and to this day, I can so distinctly remember sitting there in my time of fury, just picturing his face, my friend's face.
In your time of Tyson Fury?
In my time of Tyson Fury. Let me get rid of these.
What the hell's going on with him? What the hell's going on?
I'm causing all kinds of crap around here.
God damn it, Charlotte. You bitch. You quit fighting with that dog. God damn it. Becky, Charlotte. God damn it.
Okay.
Yes.
You get rid of him.
Good times. Yank my headset out here. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Do you know who Renee works with?
Oh,
now?
Lord.
You know who produces that and hires who Renee's boss is now?
Now?
That's Colin Cowherd's network that she's on with that podcast.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's got several of them, and he's trying to base it sort of in Vegas because I think he's got some business interests in Vegas. I know he's got like a beef jerky company. I don't know if they're centered there, but he does some he's got some companies and stuff, and she's one of the talents that he has.
So did not know that.
Let's see what the update is from Sports Talk. A WWE source close to the situation reached out after seeing this report and offered their view. The source states the way that Vince wanted it to go down was that Lynch and Flair exchanged titles, but Becky grabs the two titles real quick and then eventually throws the other title at Flair. That's how it was supposed to go down. That's how it was supposed to happen.
Okay.
Charlotte is said to have disliked the idea, and Becky expressed concerns about whether she would actually do it to the writer involved in the segment and to Sonya Deville. Of course, the title got dropped and things didn't go according to plan. Lynch let her have it when the pair were back in Gorilla, but Flair swore it was an accident. The source says precious few people believed that.
Didn't look like an accident.
So Charlotte was swearing that it was an accident, and people are like not believing her. And then they show a nice picture of the 4 horsewomen who are now, it's forever broken apart.
Yeah,
it's never going to happen again. It's good. There is no joy in Mudville at all. So we watched some of Crown Jewel. You had texted me and goes, "You're going to watch it?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm in the parking lot here getting my groceries, but I've got my phone on. I'm kind of watching some of it." And you were like, "I feel so dirty. I feel so dirty watching
every time, man."
I went like, "Dirty like you're watching porn?" He goes, "No, like I'm watching a snuff film." And which part did you feel dirtier when they brought the women to the ring to give them their belts for the breast cancer thing, and they were covered from head to toe and not allowed to even show their faces?
I assume they were women.
Get your ass to the ring and act like a woman. We're going to give them a good fucking show. The stuff, the way that the women were covered up, the ones who were wrestling, it wasn't that bad because they just had the t-shirt on top of everything.
Yeah, they just look like they're cleaning the house or something.
That woman, oh, you're going down a tough road there, pal.
Well, I mean, we're just working out, cleaning, doing something, around the house.
You're going to make me a sandwich right now.
Gardening work, okay. Maybe they were doing some gardening. I didn't mean it that way. Jesus Christ.
That one female referee, and I can't remember what her name is, so I'm not making myself look that great.
I have no idea what those referees' names are, man.
She's good, but she had to have that. Not only did she have to have the ref shirt on, she had to have like a long sleeve shirt under it, covering like her whole arms.
Yeah, all of them did. All of them had to have everything covered, man. But it wasn't bad. I mean,
the show itself was pretty good. I mean. The thing with the Usos and Brock Lesnar, and then Paul's throwing the belt in there, and we don't know who he's throwing the belt to, and he goes, "You know what to do with it." That was so good. Goddamn. How is Paul Heyman still this good at this point in his career? How is he still this fucking awesome?
Well, that promo when I texted you, I fell for the hook, line, and sinker, man.
He's the best.
When he said, "Tonight, I'll walk down with the undisputed champion Roman Reigns, and tonight I will leave with the undisputed champion." Thank you.
Dude, it's ridiculous how good he is right now. And not only is it like he's like the reason you watch SmackDown, him and Roman and that stuff, but it's also the Kayla and Paul show, which is hilarious. He's getting Kayla over, like, and she's like rolling with it and just kind of putting that smarmy grin on and still bothering his ass and looking at him struggle and everything. It's just wonderful. All of that is wonderful.
There are some silver linings in the old WWE right now, but they're few and far between. They really are.
Becky Lynch is still SmackDown Women's Champion. Big E retaining the WWE Championship. X is your King of the Ring. How about that one? We didn't see that one coming, did we?
Yeah, no, I didn't really think they'd pull the trigger on that one. I figured they'd say, okay, you can get to the finals, but that's where we're stopping with you.
This feels like,
and he beat Finn Balor too, which is that's saying something.
Finn's kind of a man without a country right now, isn't he? He's kind
of
like,
he sure is.
He ain't got no friends right now. He ain't got a home. Poor feller. But it looks like X may be the next Mighty Mouse. They may try to build him up, and if you try to give him a run, God, we're only 6 months away from WrestleMania. You try to turn X into the Mighty Mouse guy, the underdog, the Bryan Danielson guy, the Daniel Bryan guy, like they did at WrestleMania 30. I mean, that could be something they might attempt to do going into WrestleMania. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, that might, or he might be the Kofi Kingston, his partner there in New Day. Isn't it? It's just so weird how much they've accomplished with that little faction. And we kept wondering, well, when are they going to break them up? When are they going to turn on each other? They haven't done it, even though they're on separate shows and everything now, and they still continue to accomplish stuff and get shit done.
I know. And then there was a time, when they were kind of, to say, they were on the back burner for a minute, and they still kind of withheld, and here they are back on top pretty much again, all of them in different ways, like you said.
It's weird how that has worked out, but these guys they've gotten themselves over. I mean, the companies tried to bury them 6 ways till Sunday, but they keep coming back one way or the other.
Well, I think they, when they stopped with the throwing out the bullshit and the pancakes and that's when I was ready for them to just disband,
Oh,
but now that they've kind of gone back to the OG kind of stuff, just going out and being fun and funny and look good in the ring, then I'm back to liking them again, I guess.
Weren't we the ones on this podcast that said that the company really owes Zelina Vega one? Weren't we the ones who said that a couple weeks ago?
Yes, because that whole 9/11 thing, man.
And again, somebody points out, well, they fucked her on the 9/11 thing. She goes out the next day, reads her father's name at the ceremony and all that stuff. They axe her off of the show for really no reason at Madison Square Garden, other than they can't figure out how to time a fucking show. And then she goes over, she becomes the Queen Jewel, whatever they call in that thing, in Saudi Arabia, the country responsible for funding 9/11. You can't make it up. You can't. There's no possible. Circle. You can't make it. But I'm happy for her. She's worked hard. She's over. She's done a good job.
She's great on social media too. I like her on TikTok.
She's an amazing performer, and she's another one of those. Like, if you put her in another company right now, she would kick ass and take names. And I don't know.
I was really surprised to see her come back, man. I don't know if she was still under contract or what the deal was with her, but I was really kind of surprised to see her back.
They got pissed at her because she was doing some cosplay stuff on OnlyFans, right? Mm-hmm. And they were like, no, that's not okay. And now you hear with this, what's his name? Stevison Gable or Gable Stevison or whatever, the Olympic guy. They've already got
that dude that was drafted?
Yeah, they got a name, image, and likeness deal already in place for him. One of those NIL deals, just like what they do with the college football players.
Wow.
Whoever his agent was already has one of those in place for him. And now she's just trying to hustle up a couple bucks on OnlyFans. And they're like, no, you can't do that. No, fuck you. That's terrible. It's awful. How bad? You're like, wait, what? And she wasn't.
She's doing it as Thea Trinidad. She's not doing it as Zelina Vega, right?
It wasn't adult in any way. Like, most of the stuff. I don't know if you know that on OnlyFans. There's a lot of like nudity and sexual content on the OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
They tried to stop that.
Clutch my pearls.
A few months ago, they tried to stop that and get away from that, and that lasted about 72 hours.
I'd probably go belly up.
The company was like, we're not going to do this anymore because our partners aren't sure if that's okay. And we're like, oh, well, if you guys aren't fucking on that app, then I'm going to just get this off my phone. I mean, not my phone, but whoever like. Just,
yeah.
Why did Goldberg beat Bobby Lashley again? Can somebody explain why Goldberg, who's I think older than I am, why did he beat Bobby Lashley, who's still with the company?
I don't know.
Everybody's
but you know what? Despite that, I thought that match was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was.
I will say that
for a Goldberg match.
For a Goldberg match, yes.
I just don't
and
understand.
And when that was impressive when Goldberg took him off the ramp in those tables, man. They were both airborne there for a minute.
I don't understand why he had to win though, and what that does.
No, I don't
either.
either.
Like
that should have been an interference match. If you didn't want Bobby to win, because he beat his kid up or whatever, you just have an interference kind of thing. But since there's no holds barred, can't do that.
That was the CM Punk list of grievances. Like guys would beat him and then they just retire, and he couldn't get his win back. That would happen. Triple H beat him, retires. The Rock beats him, retires. It's like what the fuck? What? Randy Orton and Riddle retain the titles. You liked Riddle coming to the match on the camel? You enjoyed the camels?
I don't know, man. I that's just little gaudy, little
on the nose,
little on the nose. And those two camels just hanging out by the ramp there the whole show. It's just
here's what we're gonna do.
Shit too.
I got an idea. We're gonna have this Asian wressler. Let me finish. We're gonna put him in a car and he's gonna wreck coming in the ring every time. It's gonna be hilarious.
No.
God damn it, it's gonna rule. What's wrong with that? God damn it.
No, Vince, no.
And then we're gonna have I got a great addendum to this one. After he wrecks, one of the girls takes him backstage and he's got a little dick. Little Dick. We're gonna call him Little Dick. Little Dick Young. Welcome to the ring, Little Dick Young.
And it's not. Of course, it's Y-U-N-G. It's not Y.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sue.
Or you could be like J-U-N-G if we can just do the full racist thing on it.
Lil Dick, yeah.
Mansoor beats Mustafa Ali.
Who does? Who beat Mustafa Ali?
Mansoor. That's who beat Mustafa Ali. As two Muslims get in the ring and sports entertain people, and that was the big deal. But then they had the silver medal karate guy come in, and he fucking Ali got jobbed twice in that match.
Yeah.
Jesus, he must have. I don't. Again, the old Jim Cornette. Whose Wheaties did he shit in?
That was like a Hezbollah Shiite confrontation there, man.
He gets his ass kicked by Mansoor, and then the karate guy comes in and lays him out too with the roundhouse kick, and he's done.
That was just so that was dumb. I thought,
but the crowd went
the whole karate thing, yeah.
And oh yeah, why did Edge beat Seth Rollins? Why is it like? Do they really like for old people to go over in Saudi Arabia? Is that what the deal is?
I guess. I mean, so Seth is going to. How do you make him a badass now since he lost? You know what I'm saying? If he's supposed to be this, not give a shit about anybody and put people out of wrestling and all this stuff, then he gets beat by, like you said, 50-year-old Edge. Yeah. So we're supposed to believe that he's still this off the chain badass. I will hurt you at any cost deal. Seth Rollins.
This character, I don't know what this character is. I just don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, they had where he was like emotionally confused and he didn't know how to feel. I don't know. I can't tell anything about what this character. They need to abandon whatever this is, and just probably get him going back to a babyface where he just admits that he was an asshole for a while and now he's come out of it. That might be the best way to go because.
Well, don't you think the turning point for Seth was the whole Fiend thing when he was cowering in the corner that time?
Maybe it might have been when he knocked up his wife. That might have been when it seems like everything's like for both of them, things have gone downhill.
So you're taking it a step more into reality.
I don't know what happened there, but like the best thing that's happened to them is the kid. Everything else since then has sucked. Like that everything else is like, well, I'm glad you have the baby because the rest of your life sucks balls. Because
wrestling wise, yes.
Yeah, your career is not happening right now.
But see, Seth could be such a integral part of, and he could either be a huge baby face or a huge, heel. And he's just kind of somewhere in the middle. Not, he's a heel, of course, but he's just, I don't know, man. It's like he's on the verge of having X-Pac heat sometimes.
There's almost nothing that he can't do. Like he's that good in theory. You have to really try to fuck that up, and hey, they're trying, and they have tried.
I know.
So it's, I don't know, dude. I everything in the WWE is so weird right now. None of it seems to be based on what's the word I'm looking for? Success. And he continues to, through all kinds of means, just hand Tony Khan win after win after win after win. Here, this is you. Take it. Kick my ass with this. Here, kick my ass with this. Here, kick my ass with this. And it's like, as much as I hate Tony Khan for his Twitter account and taunting them, and he shouldn't be doing that, at some point, I kind of don't blame the guy. I mean, like, look, this pile of shit over here continues to not want to win, apparently, and he keeps handing me shit to kick his ass. So what am I supposed to do? I get it. I understand that part of it. I really do. If the guy is going to be over here telling you, you're not competition and all this other stuff, and then, continue to kick his own ass.
I know.
I mean, what do you do?
I don't know, man. I don't really blame Tony Khan for doing some of the stuff he does. I mean, I just, sometimes it looks like he might be initiating it, but then you say stuff like that and you're like, well, maybe he didn't really initiate it. Maybe it's warranted, I don't know. But I still think that Seth Rollins can be worked on. He can be rebuilt.
Oh, he's the Lee Majors. We can.
He's the Lee Majors.
Somebody used that. I heard somebody use the term somebody being Lee Majors in a different context, and they actually called John Gruden that. And they were like, "What do you mean?" Well, he's the fall guy. He was the fall guy for that whole Washington football team. He's definitely the fall guy. We're like, oh, okay, I get that. I understand now. That's funny.
But I mean, can't you imagine Seth Rollins is a huge baby face and against Reigns at WrestleMania for the title?
Yeah, I mean,
if they did it right,
that's kind of natural. That's kind of a natural thing that would happen. I mean, they used to be pals, and now they ain't no more. And then
not just pals, they were huge. They were huge, So I mean,
haven't they kind of avoided the whole Shield thing? Haven't they avoided?
I think they have, yeah.
They were like waiting until the right time or something like that. But it's like, I don't know, in case of emergency, break glass and it's time to start breaking some glass, boys, because there's some bad shit going down.
Yeah, well, that you got a point there. They probably don't want to talk about that whole Shield thing because they'll have to talk about Ambrose. So that's you got a point.
That's stupid. I mean, at this point,
I know it is stupid.
There's like certain things that they're doing in the WWE. It's like, we don't want to telegraph panic. And it's like, well, if you're not going to do that, because you should be a little panicked right now. I know that, the stock price is doing fine and they still paid you a lot of money to go to Saudi Arabia and you have that $1 billion deal with Fox, but you can't really deny that this is competition for you. And in a way that hasn't been competition for you in 24 years. They do have the TV deal on television. They do have a very rich guy who seems to know what he's doing when it comes to the media stuff. They're going to, I think, if everything gets worked out, we keep putting this on the back burner, they're going to have a better video game component than WWE has because WWE has blown it so much. 2K22 doesn't even come out until March. They're not going to have that shit even in stores in time for Christmas, which is the point. So they've blown that. That's an entire revenue stream, which is really big for a lot of companies. And we can make fun of Kenny Omega. We often do. But if he really puts the time into it and knows what he's doing with this video game stuff, and they end up doing very well with this video game, which keeps getting kind of kicked down the road a little further, they could end up doing extremely well. So yeah, this is competition for you. And if the marketplace sees you doing stuff, I mean, I don't know what signing Brock Lesnar and making Becky Lynch come back and doing that hot shot angle against Bianca Belair, that to me is a telegraph of desperation anyway. You're either going to compete or you're not. You're in this thing. You're already there. So you might as well take all the big swings that you need to, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's look at Bound for Glory. Have you seen some of the results of what happened at Bound for Glory?
I was reading over some of the results, but I didn't watch it.
Looks like a very interesting show.
Some of it looked okay. I mean, I've seen some of those people. I've been watching some Impact at times on Thursday nights, but not every night. But most nights, I'll, if nothing else, scan through it. But 2 hours goes by pretty fast, you know, even if I just sit through it.
Carolina's indie hero John Schuyler seems to be doing pretty well in Impact these days. However, the digital media title up for grabs, it was Schuyler followed by Crazy Steve, Chelsea Green, Madison Rain, and Jordan Grace. And Jordan Grace is your winner. She is your digital media champion. Have you seen her lately on Instagram?
Yeah.
She's huge. Oh my God. She's massive.
Her and Rhea Ripley, both, man, their shoulders are just like
fucking shredded off the chain. I'm really happy for her. I'm glad I don't know what that means. I don't know what they're going to do with the digital media championship, but maybe they'll do some fun stuff with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Show just matches their own line, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. The Inspiration defeating Decay. There they are. Cassie and Jessica have won now, and they are the new champions. This is the former Icons, and they come in and went on Bound for Glory on the biggest show of the year. I was very surprised that Cassie and Jesse decided that they wanted to go to Impact, but hey, if they're going to throw the title at you on the first night in, you can't really say much about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can be the new what was Velvet Sky? What were the Beautiful People?
The Beautiful People, like absolutely.
Yeah,
did you see their video, their entrance music?
For the Iconics? No, I haven't seen it.
It's really good.
I mean, the Inspiration, yeah.
Yeah, they put it together. It looks like they spent a lot of money on it and stuff. It's very hip hoppy and trippy, and it's really good. I
wonder if they'll bring the belts with them when they come to WrestleCade.
I'm sure they will. I bet you we'll see them. Unless they lose them between now and then, they better not.
I probably won't. That's only a month away.
Trey Miguel defeated Steve Macklin and El Phantasmo to win the X Division title. EIP tried a low blow, but Miguel was wearing a metal cup. Well, it's always a good idea.
I'm just saying.
You
never know. They're high on Trey Miguel, man. They love Trey Miguel over there.
He's solid. I got to say, I'm interested in seeing what he can do because he seems to be I think he's going to be pretty good.
He kind of reminds me of Sammy Guevara in a way.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, he's a little quicker. Seems a little quicker. I mean, Sammy Guevara's quick, but he just comes across as being a little quicker than Sammy.
That's a pretty good comparison, actually. If somebody were going to compare to somebody. Heath and Rhino defeated Violent by Design near pinfall after Rhino gored Diener. Rhino didn't come out with Heath initially, but ran in when Diener and Eric Young were double teaming Heath. The good guys hugged after the win. Well, after all these years, Rhino's still getting it done. Amazing.
He still looks good, man. He hadn't aged a bit.
It's the Call Your Shot gauntlet. Moose wins, last eliminating Matt Cardona to earn a shot at any singles title that he chooses. More on that later. Rich Swann and W. Morrissey were the other two wrestlers in the Final Four. Moose dumped them as Morrissey was trying to eliminate Sean. The Good Brothers defeating Finn Juice and Chris Bay and Hikuleo to retain the Impact World Tag Team Championship. Finish saw everyone hit their signature moves on each other. Then Finn Juice double-teamed Bay, but Doc Gallows threw Robinson out of the ring to steal the pin. Mickie James defeats Deonna Purrazzo. How did I keep looking at this and I keep thinking about what you said a long time ago. I don't know how they let Deonna Purrazzo go. How did WWE ever let her go? What a talent she is.
I mean, she's Raquel Gonzalez to me.
She's good.
She's really good.
But Mickie James does defeat Deonna Purrazzo to become the new Knockouts champ via pinfall after a tornado DDT. A long match that saw both women kick out of big moves, according to Cage Side Seats, from the other.
This thing's been building up for like 2 or 3 months, way back when before they had that all women's tournament, that Mickie James was a part of. So this whole thing's been bubbling for a while. So they were bound to put on a good one, I think. I didn't see it, but it seemed like it was good.
Hard to Kill pay-per-view announced for January the 8th in Dallas. Final resolution will be the next Impact special. Josh Alexander defeating Christian Cage to become the next Impact World Champion.
I knew that was going to happen.
Christian Cage. Not only can he not get over on AEW Dynamite, he goes to another promotion in jobs.
Well, I mean, it was kind of obvious to me because you know they've been spotlighting Josh Alexander so much on there, and that you'd hardly even know Christian Cage was the champ. You know, he's never there. They hardly talk about him, so it's just kind of a telltale sign that he's going to lose that shit.
It's the funniest fucking thing. They can't get Christian Cage over to save their damn lives. They just can't. It was so important.
At least the North is the old tag team of the North are making names for themselves now, with Josh Alexander being the champ and Ethan Page over there causing shit on AEW.
That's some funny shit, though. I love that. I love that they brought him in. They can't get Christian Cage over in AEW. They can't get Andrade over. Although I saw a pretty good match with Andrade with those pinstripe pants. It looked like he was with New York Yankees.
I was good waiting to say the same thing.
See, bad cleanup for the Yankees now.
That's exactly what he looked like.
Immediately after Josh Alexander became the new Impact World Champion, Moose cashes in. He defeats Josh Alexander. Moose Ojanaka spears Alexander for a quick pin, and he is your new Impact World Champion. That is Bound for Glory.
I didn't know that. I didn't see that. I didn't read that part. I just read, I just skimmed it. I didn't even see that part. God damn. Yeah. How about that? How do you feel about Moose, man? I mean,
well, I think I'm kind of like you, that I've seen enough behind the scenes stuff that I'm not real happy about him as like a person.
Yeah.
And as a wrestler, I always thought he was somewhat limited, but I thought he had some momentum a couple of years ago. I'm kind of over him. I liked him. I like the ROH version of Moose.
I was getting ready to say with Vega. What was her name? What's her name? Lord Jesus, the little, that was like she managed him in ROH. Kviaa. But yeah, I'm with you on that.
I like the ROH version of Moose Ojanaka. Any thoughts on All Elite Wrestling and what you saw this week from AEW?
I was getting kind of pissed at that dude on Rampage that had the "Let's Go Brandon" sign in the second row. I was ready to jump through the TV and ram it up his ass. But other than that,
did you see the Jordan Klepper guy, the guy from the Daily Show, his comment on that? Because they highlighted on Media, and he goes, "It's their one good joke. Let them have it." That's what he said about it. It's their one good joke.
I guess, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it. That's the problem.
It's funny. They're going to overplay it like they always do. Our best going out to good old JR Jim Ross, who has been diagnosed with skin cancer. You saw
the picture?
The wound was something else. It was so grody that they had to cover it up on the sensitive content thing on Instagram. You had to tap it to see it.
Yeah.
And hopefully they've been able to catch this thing very quickly and all that good stuff, and he'll be able to get all the resources he needs. It's been obviously a very few tough years for JR, so I certainly hope that he's going to be okay and be able to get the treatment that he needs and come through this and be all right and continue to be the voice of wrestling, as they say.
Yes.
Tony Nese making his AEW debut at the Dark tapings at Universal Studio. I think they just had him out in the crowd looking on. This is another
kind of tells you that he's going to be doing something with him.
I'm always happy to have the quality WWE guys, but we still have 688 guys on this roster, and we have a 2-hour television show. Of course, we have 70 YouTube shows and various other Reddit threads to go to. I just don't know how you continue. I don't know how we continue to try to get people over in 2 hours when you
and roads to the top.
Roads. James E. Cornette reviewed the penultimate episode of Roads to the Top.
Oh, yeah? Fan? Is he a fan?
Oh, of course not. I mean, it's so hard to. Brandy makes it so hard to like her. She makes it like impossible to like her. And I don't know what it is, but it's just like so not good. So very, very not good. And then we're waiting for the series finale, which I don't know if it was on last night or not. It may have been on last night after Dynamite. We're waiting for her to pop the kid out. That's what we're waiting for.
Okay.
That's obviously that's what we're building up to. And then it's that, and it's like, I don't know. I'll just put it this way. If somehow that fucking show gets a season 2 and Heels doesn't, I'm going to be so pissed. Because we're still waiting to see what's going to happen for season 2. Like we just had the series finale of Heels. It was really good. There was a nice twist ending, and it left it wide open for all sorts of shit to happen in season 2. But the Stars has not given the green light for it yet.
Man,
so it would be my luck if this really shitty reality show that's just fake as fuck in an attempt to get Brandy and Cody some more attention. Like they need more attention. It would be we got that. That's no problem. If that got a season 2, but Heels was like, no, we're gonna cancel you.
Yeah. I haven't seen it Heels yet, but I've not heard anything bad about it yet. Everything I saw was like good reviews and everything.
Well, I sent you that link where they had like the first like 2 or 3 episodes for free on YouTube. It's really good.
Yeah, I've got so much on my little thing I'm trying to watch. It's just ridiculous.
Steve,
that's a bad thing about today. I mean, I know it's a third or first world problem kind of thing, but it's like there's so much shit out. Yeah, it's just too much, man. It just really is. It's overwhelming.
AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. Bryan Danielson against Dustin Rhodes. This was AEW Dynamite.
Did you see that match? Did you watch it?
I've heard good things and I have not seen it yet. I
just thought it went on a little too long. I mean, the match, I guess for the quality wise, it was good, and I shouldn't be complaining about the length, but I just don't like long matches. I've gone on about that before, but it's just a personal thing. But I thought it was a great match. It really was, despite the length.
The American Dragon does advance, by the way. He wins on that one. Kenny Omega
kind of ended weird, I thought, after that long match. It was kind of anticlimactic almost.
Kenneth Omega and Super Click with a message for the Hangman, Adam Page. It's interesting to see what they're doing with Hangman now, right? They're not putting drinks in his hand anymore, right?
No, I don't think so. But he was still hanging out with your boys in the one promo that they did.
God, could we just destroy the Dark Order? Could they?
And he was telling them, he was telling them that they've got to get along. that they got to see as one and not have so many differences.
That's not getting old.
You don't think?
FTR, Penta, El Zero Miedo on playing dirty and selling wolf tickets. MJF, the Pinnacle beat down Sting and deliver a message to Darby Allin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sting, says Shivani. He comes out with the icon and Sting gets beat up. So that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. It's about time that like people stop volunteering for the fucking Stinger splash and all that shit. Like you have all these 22-year-old kids. Oh, me, do me, please. TBS Women's Championship Tournament, Ruby Soho against Penelope Ford. Let me scroll down. Your winner is Ruby Soho, so she continues to get the push. Good. Wardlow is not happy. He interrupts MJF. All those two together, that's going to be good. Seeing those two fight is going to be fantastic.
Wardlow, he was ready. I thought that was going to be when Wardlow was finally going to turn on him, But god dang, MJF, he's so smooth. He comes back and smooths things out. God dang.
Robert Fish against Anthony Green, and your winner is Robert Fish. After the match, Fish continues to attack, then CM Punk runs him off.
So I guess CM Punk and Bobby Fish is the next big thing.
I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? As far as work rate or whatever, that's going to be an amazing match. Those guys are capable of just like.
I bet Punk requested that one. What do you think?
Probably.
Because they're so similar.
And it's right for business, I guess. I don't know. Leo Rush gets himself and Dante Martin a match against the Seidel brothers. The AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. It's Eddie Kingston against Lance Archer. Your winner and advancing in the tournament is Eddie Kingston. Oh, boy.
Archer took a bad bump on that one, too, when he tried to do a moonsault or something off the top rope, and he landed on his head.
We still haven't tapped out on Dan Lambert doing bullshit on this show, have we?
We're going to have to at least put up with them through the next pay-per-view for them.
Oh, Jesus, this guy. I just think it's like they're putting him up as being their proxy Jim Cornette. Even though the problem now is Jim Cornette is now liking All Elite Wrestling and giving them props. And now people are like, well, Tony Khan must put you on the payroll. That's what the shitheads are saying now.
What are specifically some of the things he likes now?
There's some of the matches and stuff that he's talking about.
Oh, just the matches? Okay.
Yeah, the matches are like really, he's like, they're really good. And they did a good job with this one. And, you know, he's still shitting on the appropriate people, like we do, like the fucking stupid Dark Order and all that shit.
Okay. Well, that's
Michael,
fine.
knock it off and get off.
Yes.
John Moxley with a message for those in the AEW World Title Eliminator tournament.
He's going to win it.
He's going to vows to win the whole damn thing, then he walks off. Hangman Page, the Dark Order. This is what you were talking about with him telling, can't we all just get along? Jungle Boy versus Brandon Cutler, who was like junior varsity Michael Nakazawa anyway, right?
Yes. Face shield and all.
Isn't he like the official aerosol supplier to the Bucks? Isn't that like his job in AEW?
Something like, yeah. Poor dude.
The Super
Sure, he gets paid handsomely though.
No, I'm sure he does, because you know he gets along with the boys and he knows somebody, which is like all you need really to
That's
get.
All you need. The two keys of happiness.
I'm Sean Spears. Have we met?
And by the way, I've got a hot girlfriend. I mean, wife.
And if you're trained in the Monster Factory, also you get a job at this company. It's one of those things that happens.
Yes. The
Super Click attacked Jungle Boy and threw him off the stage. Miro is getting impatient. I like this rundown. This is good. Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes 3. This is where I saw Cody fire up, get some babyface fire. It was pretty good.
A little bit. There's still some booze out there, though.
Yeah, winner was Cody Rhodes. So that was your All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. So we covered 3 promotions. We got AEW, we got Impact, and we got World Wrestling Entertainment for all that it's worth. Any closing remarks on another award-winning edition of Katie Vick is Alive?
Yeah, we threw some ROH tidbits in there as well. So
there were some ROH in there. Next time, it's New Japan and a G1 Climax. Things are really heating up for the G1 Climax.
I can't wait.
They've reached kind of a low. I mean, if you're catching Dark Side of the Ring,
I haven't really seen it the last 3 weeks. They haven't piqued my interest, man. I hate to say that, but
the Luna.
Did you watch it? The last one, the PWG one or whatever.
XPW.
XPW. I mean, I'm sorry.
Which is the weird. Okay, the weirdest thing is like we're doing these episodes and we'd like to interview these people, but they're dead. Like Luna Vachon, she's dead, and then I guess the FMW guy's still alive, so they talk to him and all the people involved. But, there's all these people they talk to. Oh, we can't talk to him anymore because they're dead. And it's like, well, the guy who was in charge of XPW, he's still around, and he owns like a burger place in Wilmington, Delaware or some shit. I don't know. And they're like, of all the people that should be dead, that motherfucker should be dead. He should be dead, but no, he's just not going to talk to him. That one was probably like the last 3 of them have been to me like the lamest episodes of Dark Side of the Ring. They're doing a good job, but it's not. They all can't be fucking Brian Pillman or Owen Hart.
Oh, I know.
Or Plane Ride from Hell. But this one was really good because it does involve legitimately a guy getting his thumb clipped off by gangsters. You'll have to see this. Yeah, you'll have to. That to me is worth it because the motherfucker, and he's there, and he's the most normal guy on the fucking show, and he's like pointing. God damn, he doesn't have a thumb. He doesn't have a fucking thumb. Oh, when he's telling the story about having these people sent after him, and they clip his thumb off, and he crawls to the door to get out, and he can't really do anything because without a thumb, he's just waving at the doorknob.
Yeah, you're kind of like a lobster.
It's like that one was interesting, but those 3 have been the lamest ones.
I'm going to have to watch that one. I've got them recorded. I might have to go back and watch that one for sure.
And then I think we're building up for a big season finale, which is supposed to be good. But yeah, so far these are not.
That's the steroid one, right?
Yeah, when we finally get the Prince of Darkness himself, Jerry McDevitt, on camera to answer some questions. Finally, it happens.
I saw him on Bram Stoker's Dracula the other day. It was great.
Any other closing remarks on Katie Vick is Alive?
No, I'm good. 5 weeks to WrestleCade. We'll talk more later.
Yes, it's shaping up to be a fantastic weekend in Winston-Salem at WrestleCade.com if you want to check it out. Bryant is on Twitter at Bryce Sports. He's also on Instagram. Same thing, Bryce Sports. Stanley Jackson 23 is going to be his handle on TikTok. I am at Britt Whitmire on the Twitter machine. On Instagram, it's BDub for Reels, BDUB, number 4, REELZ. And our show Twitter is at Katie Vick Alive. If you want to check out my mostly daily podcast with Brad Krantz, that is at Brad and Britt. So do check that out. And if you want to support us and what we do, you can shop at our Amazon store, which is katievick.com. Katievick.com. Till next time, fans, we'll see you ringside.